The broadcast has started.
Yeah, it has. Hey, look, I got Alaska Prepper. Oh wait, you're that way. Okay.
See, where are you? You're that. Oh no, you're that way.
No, yeah,
there you are.
We're here somewhere.
How you doing?
Oh, hang on. I got to mute myself on my other screen. There we go. Because yeah, we are live. I can see myself on the other screen. I can see you on my other screen. Yeah.
Yeah. We're here, man.
Is to see myself on a screen. My cousin did that to me the other day. He showed me a video he had made of him watching his TV with me on it. And I'm like, why are you doing that to me? I don't want to see that stuff. That's crazy. Don't show me. I don't want to see me. But yeah, now I got me here and there. Wait, yeah, there. For some reason, backwards.
This is going to be a blast.
Oh yeah, we're already having fun. Hey, look, there's my cousin. He just showed up. Can you see the comments? That is my cousin Matt. Hi, Matt.
Oh, man, I can't see the comments on here.
You can't? Let me see. Well, that's weird. Why can't you see the comment? Let me see if I can fix that.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh, yeah, well.
You know what we can do? I could probably grab my computer and put it next to me over here.
If you want.
And let me see if little Miss Alaska Prepper will help me out.
Yeah.
If she'll stop playing her video games for like 1 minute and help me out.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Just bring me the computer and make sure that you unplug the power because it's still plugged in.
Yeah, I can't never get my kids.
So let's start, man. How we doing? Thank you for having me, by the way.
Hey, thank you for being here. That's awesome. I have never had anybody live on my channel before. I've been live on other channels, but never live on mine. So you're the first. So you're like breaking the ice for Grimm's.
I've done a couple of lives and they're a lot of fun. So I expect to have a lot of fun. I've had fun every single time I've done it. So I'm expecting this to be fun. And by the way, congratulations on your channel, man. You already have what, 500 and something subs now?
530 something last time I looked this morning. It was
so yeah. I got and you started your channel not too long ago, right?
Oh, it was early this year. I started it in what was it? June, May? So it was early summer, late spring, something like that. So yeah, I don't know the exact date.
Well, that's good. You know, when I first when I first ran into your channel, I remember shouting you out in one of my videos because I was like, you know what, I like this guy because he's just a regular guy who just talks with you. You know, I don't like those channels. I mean, there's nothing wrong. Everyone has a different approach as to how they teach and how they share. But I don't like to be talked at. You know, I like to be talked with.
Yeah.
Or and that's one of the things I like about your channel is that when you're on there doing your videos, you're like talking with your audience and not talking at your audience. Which to me, it makes a big difference. You know, when you run into a channel like
it's not like I practice or anything. It did just come kind of natural. I mean, somebody on a YouTube video said, hey, just try it one day. Turn your phone sideways and start talking to it. So I did. And here we are today.
Hey, there you go. Hey, there we go. Okay, cool. You know what? If you see me looking away, I'm logging into the live. That way I can see the chats.
Yeah, it's odd that you cannot see it on there. But yeah, I can see it twice. I have it on this screen. And
there we go.
Oh, don't forget to mute us. I had to do that too because I was hearing an echo.
All right.
All right, we got a couple people have joined us. I can't really. Oh, it says 10 watching now. So 10 people have seen that you're here. So yeah, welcome Alaska Prepper too, Grim Survivor.
There we go, Brenda.
Have you? So,
hello, Brenda.
Yeah, hi, Brenda.
Brenda Neer's in the house.
And just be warned, my cousin's in here, so we never know what he might say. So we might have to block him, right? Just maybe. I'm gonna block you, Matt. Can you hear me? Hopefully not.
Do you still have me, Grim? You're breaking up.
Yeah, I can still see you. I have a good signal and my internet's working. Can you hear me? Yeah, you're kind of cutting.
Yeah, I can hear you well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm starting to see a little bit of lag on your end from my side.
You know what? Just a second.
Okay. Take your time. Oh, don't worry, Matt. I won't really block you. I'm joking. For some reason, I'm seeing the comments appear
I'm going to turn
on the other one before this one.
All right.
Maybe it is the service lagging. I don't know. I've never used this thing before. And, as it usually is with my channel, I did not bother to read the instructions beforehand. So we just kind of did it. This is the first time I've used it, really. So, oops. I did that the first time I ever live stream on my phone. I just
Our connection is sketchy. Yeah. I told you that. I told you that my internet here is not that great.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I know. I definitely knew that before you showed up, that your internet might not be that great, because I'm familiar with where you live, actually. So yeah, not your exact address. Don't get freaked out on nothing like that. But I do know the area quite well. So yeah. Hi, Miss Grace. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, I've got a lot of I've got a lot of echo coming from your side.
Really? Let me see if I can adjust the volume here. I might have to put a headset on to keep it from echoing too bad, because I'm listening to you through my speakers, and my microphone's right here. My speakers are right there. So you might just be hearing that. Did that fix it at all? Oh, it cut out. Are you still there? He might be losing signal. So now you guys are just stuck with me for a minute until he gets back. Hopefully it'll be soon. But yeah, he's cutting out a lot. Can you guys still hear me and see me? For some reason, I look blurry now. My camera's not focusing properly. Do not know why my camera's not focusing. All right. There we go. Are you back?
There you go. You got to invite me in, Grim.
I just put you back on. You should be able to. Yeah, you should still be live. Hopefully. I'm waiting for it to.
Yeah, I'm backstage right now.
I clicked add you to the stream, so it should be working now. I see you now. Yeah, you're back on. But for some reason, I'm blurry. Do I look blurry?
Yeah, a little bit, but I'm backstage right now. I think you have to invite me in so that I can appear with you.
I'm seeing you on the actual live stream. It says that you're there. Can everybody hear AP? Anybody?
Yeah, on this side is backstage, only you. There you go. Now I'm in with you.
Okay. See, I clicked the button like 10 minutes ago. It's just lagging really bad. And for some reason, I'm really blurry, and I don't know why. My camera doesn't have a zoom. And I
well, let's see if this works out now. Because what I did was I turned off my security camera so that it wouldn't suck up any bandwidth.
Okay. Yeah, you're coming in.
And I closed my computer.
That is really odd. I'm going into the settings now to try to fix my camera. I don't know why it's not showing blurry anywhere but on the live feed.
Yeah, I can see you a little bit blurry, but not myself. I can actually see myself fine.
Yeah, I see you fine, but I see me blurry. So one day we'll get this right.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Roderick has showed up. Welcome, Plant-Based Homestead Prepper. I'm glad you're here. Sorry I'm lagging and blurry. I don't know why. I mean, it's not the camera. It's not like it's dirty or anything. I've never really used it. Nah, I don't know. I will have to fix this later. But, hey, wipe my camera. It's not my camera. See, look, I'm wiping my camera. See, it's not. Maybe it is my camera. Maybe there's a piece of plastic on it. It's zooming in closer. But that's what it is. It's the zoom. There I am. Now I'm focusing. Can you see me focusing with my hand?
Oh, there you go.
That's weird.
You're looking good now.
All right. I fixed it. And I made it zoom. That's crazy.
You know what's funny is that we had a great connection before we went live.
Yeah. As soon as
now I just lost you again.
Downhill from there, didn't it? Yeah, you're right, Roderick. I did have to wipe it, and it reset the zoom just by sticking my hand in it is what it did. It was a zoom problem on the camera. I didn't realize this thing had zoom. It's a Logitech camera that somebody gave to me. It's a 1080p something or another Logitech. I don't know much about it. And like I said, I didn't read the instructions, and all I did was plug it in, and then we went live. So, oops. My fault.
Yeah, I keep losing you over here.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Yeah, I can. It's like you come in for a few really good. Like right now, you're perfect.
Okay.
And then your voice starts turning echoey, and I lose you. But hey, we can roll with it if you want to. I'm all good with it.
If you're good with it, I'm good to go. We'll try to, get to some.
Hey, I'm your guest. So if you're good with it, then I'm good with it.
Hey, guests are supposed to bring like a bottle of wine or something, aren't they? Or like, some champagne maybe or something. Oh, okay.
I have a little coffee for you if you like.
Why do you have a Texas coffee cup in Alaska? That doesn't make sense.
I forgot where I got this. I think my wife got it as a present and I commandeered it.
Oh, okay. She got it from
I do have family in Texas though. I do have family in Texas.
I have family in East Texas in the Lufkin, Nacogdoches area. Well, there's a major university in Nacogdoches, Texas. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. I don't remember the name. Stephen F. Austin, come to think about it. There it is. So, yeah, I lived in Texas for over 10 years. I wasn't happy to stay and was happy to leave, personally.
Is that where you're living now?
No, right now I'm in Indiana, south of Indianapolis is where my house is. So, and you've been in what is it, Fairbanks, Alaska, right in the Fairbanks area, correct?
I'm just north of Fairbanks. Is where I am. I've only been here about 5.5 years or so.
Yeah. I watched your very first video you ever put on YouTube earlier today, and you told us all about when you moved in and how you built your house with your son. So, that's awesome. What inspired you to just build a house in Alaska?
First of all, I love it up here. I love it in Alaska. And about a year or so before I knew I was going to be retiring from the Army, I told my wife that I never want to have a mortgage again.
Yeah. So
I actually got on YouTube and learned how to build a house off of YouTube videos.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I've built several houses. I used to remodel houses when I was a lot younger, and it has to be. I mean, it's not an easy thing to build a house in general, but to build it in Alaska, I know the materials are hard to come by. Everything seems to be more expensive. It has to travel farther. It's harder to get it to you.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, that had to have been a challenge all on its own.
Well, I don't want people to think that I like live in the bush. I don't. I live about 25 minutes or so away from town.
Yeah.
But it's north of town. It's north of town. And the reason I live, not that far from town, if it was up to me, I'd be living in the bush. I'd be living in a cabin with a wood stove and all that kind of stuff. But my better half said that we better have running water and a flushable toilet.
Okay. Well,
so we had to compromise.
You can get running water and flushable toilets off grid out in the bush too. You can get composting toilets, and you can, get water pumps with solar generators and wind generators. So you could.
Man, I wish I'd have known you before we settled there. No, but this is actually
life doesn't.
Actually, the location we're at is great. When we looked at this land, I was actually looking at the logistics part of it.
Yeah.
As far as it's far enough away from town that if I put on my prepper hat, it's far enough away from town that if something were to occur where some people got desperate, no one would come north because there's really nothing up here.
Exactly.
And right. And if something were to occur where the people that live north of us, which is not very many people that live north of us, if they had to head into the city, they would not come into where we live because it's not even close to the highway.
Okay.
So I was thinking, worst case scenario, the only thing that you have to do is worry about your neighbors. And the neighbors that I have here are very self-reliant and good people. They're good people and they believe in being self-reliant. So, when we picked this land, I looked at it that way. Yeah. And, before we actually bought it, I actually went around and talked to a few of the neighbors just to meet them, just to get a vibe of what this little area is like. Yeah. Because it's not like I'm not in a desolate place. I actually have 3 neighbors that are probably within 100 meters from me, where I live. So it's not desolate. When people hear Alaska prepper, they're like, "Oh, he lives out in the bush."
Yeah.
There's nothing out where he is. No, not at all. Yeah. The only utility that we have out here really is electricity. Yeah. So I am hooked up to the grid. Other than that, we have to provide our own water and our own fuel and anything else that we want to have that are conveniences of living in the city.
How do you?
Are you still there, Grim?
Yeah, that running water. You say
Okay.
you have running water. Where does it come from if you have to get it yourself? Can you hear me? Hello?
I think you froze up on me.
Yeah, this thing is not working properly today. I lost him again. All right, well, we'll wait a minute to see if we can get him back in here. I'm guessing because I have a really high-speed cable internet connection where I'm currently sitting in the studio that it is not my internet causing him to drop off. So we're probably going to guess that it's his. Yeah, Fairbanks, Alaska's internet up there is precarious at best, just to, say the least. All right, he's back. I have re-added you to the stream. You should be live again. I'm just guessing your internet doesn't like me. If you can hear me.
Yeah, you know what's funny? The funny thing is that the other live chat or live streams that I've been on, we never had this problem. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's maybe this program, because the other ones that I've done was on that Google Hangouts I told you about.
Yeah, I got to.
And that one worked out pretty good.
All right, plant-based prepper, homestead prepper said that I need to speak up more, so maybe you guys are not hearing me. Maybe you need to turn your volume up more. I don't know, one of the two. I will try speaking.
Yeah, let me know. I'm trying to speak a little loudly, so let me know if I need to speak up as well.
Yeah, because like I said, I hooked this microphone up. I was going to use the built-in one in the webcam, but it's a lot farther away, so I got this one sitting like right here in front of me. So
yeah, I can hear you fine.
I can do this, and that changes the setting to where you should be able to hear everything a whole lot louder. So let me know how that works.
Yeah, that I actually can hear you better that way.
Okay, I'll leave it on. That's just the.
So I'm not sure if you caught. I'm not sure if you caught what I was saying about the other parts, but like I said, I don't want people to think that when they hear Alaska Prepper that I live out in the bush in the middle of nowhere. I don't. Where I'm at, we are hooked up to the grid. So we have electrical power from the city, and the other utilities like water, sewage, fuel for the house, all of that stuff, I have to get myself.
So how do you?
For example, I haul my own water, and I have a cistern under the house, 1,000-gallon system that I put water in. And as far as fuel for heating the home, I haul my own fuel, and I put in a fuel tank that I keep here. And I have,
based fuel.
Well, I have both.
Yeah.
My main heating source is a oil-based, heating oil-based, and my backup, my alternative, is propane.
Okay.
So I have in my living room, in my living room, I have a what's called a Toyo stove. Mm-hmm. It's a stove that's made in Japan. I think it's called Toyotomi.
Yeah.
And we call it a Toyo stove, and it's enough to heat my entire house. And then right next to it, I had a non-electric propane heater installed that if something ever happens with the electricity where it's out long enough, I can turn to my non-electric source. And I have a few hundred, gallons of propane outside that's hooked up to that stove. So, it's just my first backup in case something happens. It works really well.
And can you?
And it gives you peace of mind too.
If it gets to a dire emergency, or are you reliant on just the non-renewable, I guess, system? Oil and propane, I guess, would not be really.
Well, one of the things about prepping that I like to tell people is that it's not an end-all be-all.
No.
So you can have a warehouse of food stored up, or a warehouse of fuel stored up, but eventually that's going to run out.
Always.
So one of the things with prepping, is you want to remember that once your food is gone, what are you going to rely on? Exactly. And I'm trying to put this in a good way. I've never really seen a disaster. Well, if you look throughout history, I've never seen a crisis. People like to call it SHTF. That's fine, but I've never seen a life-altering event or a major crisis last a decade or 2 decades or 3, right? So I'm not going to prep for a decade. Honestly, I'm probably over the top when I tell you that I have a couple of years, 3 years worth of food, that will feed my family.
Yeah.
But what I consider prepping is that buffer that gets you from A to B. So everything in between A and B, you can use your preps for.
Oh,
but
yeah.
as long as you get to B, that's what prepping is for, is to get you through that crisis.
Oh, yeah.
So I do have enough fuel at all times to heat my home through about 3 winters.
There you go.
So I figured that, and of course with non-renewables. So heating oil is non-renewable because I have to go purchase it. Propane, same thing. And what I'm planning on doing is getting a wood stove that I can install in my home if for some reason we run into a circumstance where I'm depleted of all of my oils and all of my LP to heat the house. But that'll take 3 winters to happen.
Yeah, and that's plenty of time.
So
to
that's my backup plan.
Yeah, you'd have 3 years is plenty of time to get a good 2 winters worth of wood built up easily.
Exactly.
It
Yeah,
takes
exactly.
a summer to prepare for the winter in a climate like you live in, definitely. So
right. Well, the thing is my wife can't really handle the wood stove because she used to be asthmatic when she was a child.
Yeah.
So it's not really an option. But if we have to have it to survive, then absolutely it would go in the house and heat our house. So my plan is not to have it installed in the house unless I know I'm going to have to install it. So with 3 years supply of fuel, it gives me a year or two to decide where it's going to go in the house and all that kind of stuff. But in all honesty, I don't see that happening. It'd have to be a really serious, major, disaster or crisis for us to be 2 years into it. I think one of the worst ones I've heard about, with the exception of like wars, like if you look at Germany and World War II and things like that, you can have families that can tell you that, they lasted 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years, living in a real crisis situation. So, with the exception of that, I don't see like a crisis where things are going to be offline going on for, an extended period of time. But you never know.
Apocalypse kind of thing. So
yeah, exactly. But the thing is, you never know. So it is good to be prepared. It gives you peace of mind. Is what it does.
Yeah, and I had my own personal SHTF situation happen early 2019. It was in January. I'm not going to go into details, but if it wasn't for some of the preps I had, I would have been a very hungry person, and so would my children at that particular time. So yeah, we definitely relied on being prepared for whatever could come to be, because it might not be a national thing. It might only be a personal thing, because you just never know. Just like what was it, 2 days ago now? As of yesterday now, I am now unemployed. So thanks my job for that. That was a happy Christmas present they gave me. So
wow, that's really nice of them to do that for Christmas, huh?
Yeah, it was awesome of them, wasn't it? And all because
I'm sorry to hear that.
People less. That was really what it came down to. A major trucking company, it was like the 3rd largest trucking company in the United States, went bankrupt due to their higher up people. I guess some of the people, whoever it was, the higher ups were embezzling money, millions and millions of dollars. 2 of them were arrested. 2 of them escaped the country to non-extradition countries. So yeah, they went out of business, and now there are so many truck drivers. And unfortunately, that company was based in my area. It was actually based in Indianapolis, and I live, within 30 miles of that city, unfortunately. So yeah, it's made it really difficult already for me to find another job. And unemployment is just blowing up in the state due to it. Thousands of people are being laid off, and yeah, a chain reaction. So, yeah. I mean, the dumbest things people do, embezzling millions of dollars and then costing thousands of people their jobs. They don't think about the chain reaction effect that they're causing by doing something like that. And, it trickles all the way down to people like me. So, yeah.
I mean, it'll trickle down all the way to the grocery store.
Oh, yeah, it will.
Even those people are going to lose out on business that the people that were let go would have provided them had they still have a job.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of secondary and tertiary effects when it comes to that.
I mean, this company had contracts that they moved freight all over the country, all over the world. They had refrigerated trailers. They were moving food. They were moving, just everything, clothing, food, just anything you can think of. That's what they had contracts all over the country for things that they moved, and now they're losing those contracts, which for small startup trucking companies like the one that just let me go, it's great because you can get a lot of employees really cheap. You can land a few more contracts. And yeah, I'm currently applying for business loans because I'm trying to get a couple of trucks to do just that myself. So that's my goal currently. So wish me luck on that. Maybe. But yeah, that's a position they put me into.
Hey, how many people do we have on the chat right now?
We have 15 watching right now, but that's a little bit lagged. I guess it's over there. It's a little bit lagged, so
nice.
it might, you know, pick up. It might 15 to 30 is about average when I
was going to say, if anyone's got any questions, if anyone has any questions, let them pop it up there. I closed my computer, so I can't see it.
Oh, well, if anybody has a question in particular, if you ask right now, I can put it on the screen, I believe. And here we go. I will put that one there.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can click it. And yeah, that was one of the good comments there.
There you go. Yeah. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you very much. And my best to your husband and your son as well. And my thanks to them as well.
And if anybody has a question they would like to ask, go ahead and put it up now. I will throw it on the screen here when I can. Here we go. Hi, Knife Collector. How are you doing?
Hey, Knife Collector. How you doing?
There you go. He had a question.
Sailor Boy pilot crackers. How do you store them? Let's see. If so, do you pick them for long-term? Well, you know what? I think those crackers are great for long-term storage. I've actually stored some of those crackers before without using any oxygen absorbers or any Mylar bags, just in their package, and they lasted for years. So I would have to assume, and the reason I say assume is because I've never done it before, that if they stored for like 3 or 4 years just in their regular package without any additional packaging, that they would last a decade or more if you used an oxygen absorber and Mylar bag or a food saver bag that's vacuum sealed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would say that they would last a long time because I know exactly what crackers you're talking about, and I used to buy them all the time when the commissary used to sell them. So they should store, I would say easily, in my opinion, a decade if you use an oxygen absorber and a bag, either a food saver bag or a Mylar bag.
And you can get Mylar bags in so many different sizes. You can store things snack size all the way up to big 5-gallon buckets and even bigger than that. So Mylar is a great way to, and it's easy to vacuum seal. If you have the smaller containers and one of the seal-a-meal type things, you can actually seal and vacuum seal Mylar with that if you do it correctly. It's not the easiest thing to do, but you have to get the sizes right and all this stuff. And my wife has attempted it several times and I think managed to get it right the last time. So yeah, keep that in mind. Weird. Don't know what you're talking about there. Warning because a moderator keeps harassing. I'm going to put this comment up because I have no clue what he's talking about. Maybe you can explain it to me because I'm lost there on that one.
I don't know. It says here, guest warning because a moderator keeps harassing me and permanently banned me from doing it. I have no idea what you're talking about. If I had to say, maybe he's saying warning because a moderator is harassing me and banned me. I'm not sure what he's talking about.
Moderators and
he or she, I'm not sure.
So yeah, weird. But anyway, anybody else has any more questions while we're waiting? I have one thing I'd like to let you know is you really inspired me to keep going. It was probably about, I don't know, a month, maybe 2 months ago. I was, having one of those moments where I guess I just had lost all motivation. I was like, why bother making any more videos, kind of things like that. And I remember sitting at my computer, I was reading something. I don't even remember what it was. And I had gotten a subscriber and it notified me for some reason on my tablet that was next to me. And I was like, okay. And then it started going off like several more times. I'm like, what is going on here? And then somebody said that you had suggested my channel and I had gotten like 40 some odd subscribers and somewhere around 30 or so comments that day. And, that was the day I was like, I'm done with this. And, that really inspired me and motivated me to see that somebody was, supporting me like that. I'm like, well, I guess maybe I should make a couple more videos. So, here I am. I kept going, you're one of the reasons why.
Well, Grim, let me tell you, I think I think there's two things you have to remember if you want to survive YouTube as a creator. And one of those things is easy for me to do, and the other one is a little difficult, but it's getting better. And the first thing is, in my opinion, of course, is you have to be yourself and not try to change to satisfy everyone that has a critique or a criticism of your work or who you are. If you're yourself, it's easy. You don't have to practice. You just talk how you talk and you do what you do. And once you start trying to satisfy everyone that has a comment that's contrary to what you're doing, that's when you're going to be miserable.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the first thing that I figured out. The second thing is that, I think I lost you. Are you still there?
I'm still here. Can you still hear me?
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me? Oh, we may be lagging out again. It must be this program. We're going to have to try a different program next time.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're still there or not, Grim, so I'm going to wait a second.
I can still hear you. Can you hear me? Anybody let me know who's lagging? Who's lagging? Does anybody know? Is it me? Is it on his side? I don't know. It's lagging a lot. Gotta love this program. First time I ever used it, so hopefully we can get this thing sorted out. I should have, done more with the other program to see if I could have got it working right.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what. Oh, you know what? Give me a second. Let me see something.
Okay. Oh, you disappeared. All right, Grace, if you were to move to Alaska, first question would be, why would you? It's a hard life to live in Alaska. And I've known people who live there. I've watched a lot of, things from people who live there. And you really have, it takes a special kind of person to live in Alaska. So yeah, you might want to, you're back. Maybe.
Hey, guess what? I think I might have solved my issue, but we'll see.
Okay. What was the issue?
What I did is, and I'm not sure if this will solve it, but what I did is I combined my data from my phone and my internet at the same time. Maybe that'll give me a little bit better reception. We'll see.
Maybe.
I don't know, but we'll see.
But yeah, we heard most of what you were saying, and I could still hear you when you couldn't hear me. So we were still
okay. Well, the second thing I was saying is the first thing. Well, the first thing that you need, that in my opinion you need to do to be able to survive this YouTube thing is continue to be yourself and don't change for anyone. If someone tells you, "Hey, Grim, I really don't like your hat," keep wearing your hat if that's who you are, right? Yeah. Don't let someone tell you you should do this or you should do that. You do what you want to do, and those people that want to listen, they're going to listen. If they don't, it's very easy. All they have to do is hit the unsubscribe button, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's the easiest thing in the world to do. And the second thing is
a couple of times.
Yeah, the second thing I would say is don't worry about the comments that are negative comments. And those comments, I do two things with those comments. One is, if it's a respectable comment that was put in a respectful way, I'll leave that comment up there.
Yeah.
Because everyone is entitled to their own opinion, right?
Yeah.
But only if it's put in a respectful way. If somebody comes on and they leave a comment where they're leaving a whole bunch of vulgarities and just not being very classy, they're not a good fit for my channel. So I block them. I have no problem blocking someone if they're going to spend their time leaving vulgar comments on my channel, because it takes away positive energy, and that's not what it's about.
So
you just have to realize that. And when you're reviewing your comments, I like to read every single comment.
Oh yeah.
Which is getting more and more difficult. As we gain more community members, it gets more and more difficult to read all the comments. But you have to remember that there's about 2 billion people that are on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Something like that, like a third of the world or a fourth of the world is actually on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
there's no possible way that you're going to make everyone happy that watches your video. Someone will always disagree. I think I have one video or two that have zero no like that don't have any, you know, thumbs down. You know, I think I have like one or two videos that don't have any thumbs down. And I remember I put up a video where it got a whole bunch of thumbs down, and I was like, well, it is what it is. You can't let it bother you. And you know, I've done a few videos where a comment upset me enough where I was like, I'm going to do a video on this because this is ridiculous. Yeah. And then I learned through reading the other comments from my community members, they're telling me, don't listen to people like this. Don't listen to the negativity. So what I'm telling you is not something that I came up with originally. It's actually something that my own community taught me, you know, through my channel. It's that you cannot take every comment too hard. It's a negative comment.
Troll my channel. I find it highly amusing. I think it's the most entertaining thing ever that somebody took time out of their day to come tell me that they didn't like something I mean, why did you bother watching me?
I know.
I mean, it's so entertaining for me. I'm like, thank you for watching. I appreciate you.
I know.
Telling me how much you hate me. That's awesome. So yeah, I got a comment.
But it is what it is, you know. Yeah, it is what it is. You just have to remember that, you know, you're doing this for a reason. You know, and everyone's reason is different. You know, I started doing this because I wanted to help to wake people up to the fact that, hey, you need to start prepping. And, you know, and my community, it's evolved over the last couple of years because now I have enough community members where I'm actually lucky enough to, you know, help out the community that I live in, you know, through what my community members do. And I think that's an awesome thing. You know, if you come at this with a good heart, you know, and a good attitude, there's a lot that you can get from it. And I'll tell you what, man, bringing all those turkeys and stuff to that food bank before Thanksgiving, I'll tell you what, it was a lot of fun. It makes you feel really good, you know, that you're helping out. But without my community members, I would have never been able to do that. So, you know, my community has grown as a community and not just as a channel. You know, so I don't really care about the numbers that much, to tell you the truth. You know, the numbers I don't care about that much. What I care about is the quality of the people that are actually there with me.
Yeah, I pay more attention to the comments now than I ever do. I watch individual video views, but as far as, you know, the subscriber things, I only check it about once or twice a week now. I was checking it all the time, but it's like, what's the point in this? So I stopped doing that. But yeah, there is a question for you. I got it on the screen here. Plant-based homestead. I would like to know something. So, yeah.
Oh, where am I originally from? Hey, Plant-based, how you doing, brother? Hey, Plant-based, I thought Grim was your cousin.
We look so much alike.
So if you want to hear a quick story, man, hey, if you watch my videos, you know I like to tell stories.
Oh yeah, I like your stories. I listen to them all the time, so go for it.
So check it out. So my parents immigrated to the United States. I believe it was around 66, 65. I'm originally from Dominican Republic. That's where I was born.
Yeah.
And my parents as well, obviously. But if you guys do a little bit of history search, you'll see that in 65, in the Dominican Republic, there was kind of like I don't want to call it a civil war, but like an uprising against their government. It used to be a dictatorial government. And I believe that the name of the person that was in charge of the government back then his name was Trujillo. So, and actually the U.S. had something to do with that as far as getting rid of the dictator there. But we won't get into that.
Yeah.
So once all of that stuff was over, my mom and my dad, they immigrated here. And back, I think it was around 66 or so. So in 1968, I have a sister that was born in 68 when my parents were still here. And when my sister was born, my mother had what is called a tubal ligation. Yeah. Where they used to tie up the tube so you can't have any more kids.
Yeah, getting tubes tied. I remember that now.
Yeah. So I popped up in 1971.
Wow.
I was born in 71. So for some reason, something must have gone wrong during that procedure. and I popped up in 71.
Or an oops or a surprise. One of the three, right?
There you go. This is an accident right here.
There you go. I was actually similar situation. When I was born, my father was told that he couldn't have children, and then here I came, and he thought my mother was, off on the side somewhere until they actually, he had to be convinced that it was his. But anyway, continue your story.
Well, my mom and my dad, being new to the United States, I don't think they understood all the rules. So all they had was they were permanent residents. So they had what is commonly called a green card, which is actually pink. It's not really green, it's pink, but it's called a green card, right?
Changed colors many times over the years.
Yeah, so they went back to Dominican Republic to have me because they wanted me to have Dominican citizenship.
Wow.
So they went back to have me. Well, they didn't know that since I was born in Dominican Republic and they were just permanent residents, that they couldn't bring me back.
Oops.
So my mom had me down there. They had to leave me there for I lived with my aunt and my uncle, which in itself was a blessing because they were like my second parents.
Yeah.
I lived with my aunt and my uncle until I was 3 years old, which is how long it took my mom and my dad to get all the paperwork done to get me residency into the United States. So I arrived here in the United States on August 4th of 1974, and I grew up in New York. So that's the story on how AP got to the United States.
You've been all over.
I was actually here. I was actually here before I was born, and then I had to come back after I was born.
That's entertaining, at least. So yeah, that's a really interesting turn of events of how you got here, and then all the way up to Alaska. That's really a long trip from the start there.
Yeah, well, the Army brought me to Alaska, so and I'm glad. I'm happy that it did.
Yeah, I remember watching that video. I watched it this morning, the first video you ever posted. I actually have it up here on one of these tabs. It was
Is it the one where I was walking with a dog?
Yeah, your dog was running around. You were walking outside. You said you were out of shape, and it sounded like you were breathing hard going up a hill.
Yeah, and believe it or not, I was using the same phone I'm using now.
Yeah, you still have the same phone 2 years later. All right, now I got to know what kind of phone you have. Oh, mine's sitting.
It's just a cheap Samsung.
Okay, so I have the Galaxy Note. What is it? The Note 10? Yeah, Note 10. Look, that's my metal plate on the back. But yeah, that's my phone. It has the always on screen, so you can see what time it is and my reflection of my camera and stuff.
I have a $110 phone. That's my camera.
You don't want to know
my camera the entire time.
Look at this thing. I could pull my pen out. I could pull my pen out, and then I could just start right. Why
nice.
It's. Oh, I didn't have the screen off. There you go. Screen's off. Pull the pen out, and then you can write on the screen.
And then that's pretty cool.
Just saves. And this is a Bluetooth remote too. So when I'm making videos, I just turn the camera on and off.
It's a phone. There's no way.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Just on my desk here, I have a monitor there. I have a monitor there. I have a tablet there. I have a phone here, and my wife has confiscated that, so we won't go there. And I built this computer. I built the other computer I have in the other room, which is currently, I think a surge hit it, so I have to replace the power piece, the power supply unit. I could go into computers all day. We could be sitting here talking for hours on computers. But I do want to say the very first, it was one of the first live streams I ever did. I think it was the first one I did from my computer. I called it Survival Sunday, and I've been trying to do it again. I haven't got time, but I featured a thing I own on Survival Sunday, and that was this, and this is my flint that goes with it. And I sat here for an hour and tried to light this thing. Now, I actually did get it once in that video to light for half a second, but never since. And after the video, of course, I could light it every time. So my question for you is, have you ever used a flint and steel? And do you have any suggestions if you have? Because, yeah, I have no skill with these things.
I've never used the flint and steel. I believe in having the easiest things to light fires with and keeping the hardest ones as the last resort.
Yeah.
There you go. This goes about learn how to use it. You learn how to use that stuff, but I would rather have a lighter and matches first and foremost, and then if those things don't work, have a ferrocerium rod, and so on and so on.
Yeah, the ferro
because if you have to light a fire, Yeah, if you have to light a fire for an emergency, you want to light a fire in a hurry.
Quickly.
You know, you're not like, oh, check this out, I get to use my ferrocerium rod. You're not like, no, I need to get a lighter. I need to get a fire going. You know,
immediately.
It's not something to be excited about.
Yeah, I always carry chunks of fat wood in my backpack, and the best way to light fat wood is with a Bic lighter. There are many ways you can scrape dust off of it and hit it with a spark of something, but you know, a Bic lighter, there's just nothing replaces a Bic lighter, and it has to be a Bic lighter, because you use those generic ones.
You know, I like those lighters that are like a little torch.
Oh yeah, those work good.
Have you seen those? They're like a little torch. Yeah, I really like having those. Yeah, I like them because you can refill them, and they seem to last forever, and they work really well.
And you can actually start.
But yeah, I have a whole bunch of Bic lighters.
Oh yeah, yeah. You got to watch out because they will evaporate after. I mean, this one was probably sitting in my backpack for 3 or 4 years before I decided I was going to put it in my pocket, because I lost the red one I had been carrying around. But this one's been through the washing machine about 6 or 7 times now, because I always forget. I don't use the lighter for anything, so it's always in my pocket, and I always forget that it's there, and I wash it, and it still works. So yeah, Bic lighter.
Yeah, I always keep 1 or 2 in my truck. Yeah. Yeah, I always keep 1 or 2 in my truck. So yeah, it's definitely a good thing to have. Of course, it's good to have all the other stuff too.
But yeah, the thing I think I use the most out of my EDC is my Leatherman. I use this thing more than any tool I've ever owned. And I mean, I used to remodel houses, and I've never used one single tool as much as this Leatherman here. I mean, this thing is the best thing I've ever owned, and I use it. Yeah, I mean, it's got wear on it. I got the black one because I like black everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, up here, what I use most out of my EDC is my little flashlight.
Yeah.
I use that thing probably every single day during the wintertime. I love that little low light. It's that little low light I3, I think it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen
that little thing is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Grim, you know MS Mom 1994?
Yeah. Yeah, she won the giveaway.
She's the one that. She's one of my community members as well.
Yes,
and I noticed that she won that giveaway you were doing.
Yeah, she should have it. I think I forgot to send her. You know, that you remind me. I have the tracking number that I sent that to her, and it should be there. If it didn't get there today, it should be tomorrow. So hopefully she gets it in time before Christmas. If she's not,
I was watching when you did the giveaway, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. I recognized her name right away.
That is awesome. So yeah, I'm glad somebody who could probably use it won. That was awesome. And I do always have my own personal kit right here, and I've been carrying this thing around for years now. This thing. I've never had to use it, but I'm glad I have it.
That's good.
Yeah, never had to.
Yeah, I've got a big old kit in my truck.
Yeah,
I carry around a big old kit in my truck, and I've had to use it one time for duct tape.
Yeah,
but that's a good thing. It's a good thing that you don't have to use it.
Yeah,
but it's always important to have it. If you need it, you have it there. I mean, in my truck, I carry a get home bag, and I carry a big first aid bag. That's got pretty much everything in it that you need. But like you said, I've never had to use it, and that's a good thing.
I had a really nice trauma kit, and then my idiot dog broke his leg. And yeah, have you ever had a Doberman with a broken leg? We used a lot of it that day. And then the same idiot dog got a big cut on him one day. We used it that. I had another dog that was an idiot that cut its leg once. So my trauma kit went to my dogs, unfortunately. So I really am lacking medical supplies currently. In my kit, I have plenty of medical supplies in the house. It's just in my kit I'm lacking a lot. So I have to, replenish some of it. I just haven't gotten to it, apparently. But yeah, it was the dogs that did. Have you ever had a dog break its leg? I was watching the dog do it. He came up. We had a back deck in that particular house. This has been several years ago. He came up the back deck, and it's kind of deck where the stairs are like this, and there's a gap in between every step, kind of a deck. So the first dog jumped all the way up and cleared the bottom step to the top. And these are Dobermans, 2 of them. And the first Doberman was about 4 years old at the time, and the other one was 6 months old. The first one cleared all the steps. The second one missed and got his leg stuck in the last thing, and his body kept going and snapped his leg, like broke that bone completely. It was, the dog started, I never heard a dog make a sound like that. The only way I can describe it is screaming. The dog was screaming, and I yelled at my wife because I wasn't going near the dog. This is a full-size Doberman. It's a puppy, really, 6-month-old Doberman. It's pretty big, so not quite full-size, but big. And wounded animals and things. I know better. My wife runs out there, picks the dog up like it's a little baby, scoops the dog up in her arms and carries him to the SUV and lays him in the back and drives him to the. I'm like, you are crazy.
Wow.
You don't pick up a dog like that. And especially a wounded animal, especially that size wounded animal. And she's like, I didn't even think about it. I just went and did it. And the vet said the same thing when she scooped the dog out of the back of the vehicle. I'm like, I'm not touching that dog. He's going to bite me. I mean, I know better. And the vet said to her that, I can't believe you just picked that dog up, put a muzzle on the dog before they transferred him over to their care. And yeah, that broken leg cost me quite a bit of money, and that stupid dog.
Yeah, I could imagine.
But
yeah.
Barely.
Oh, good.
Yeah, barely. Just the dumbest dog I've ever owned. And Dobermans are supposed to be really smart, but not that one. So yeah, oops. Oh, well, I mean, what can you do? You can't just, your options in that particular moment are to help it or put it out of its misery. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yep. So, yeah.
Yeah. If you can help it, definitely help it,
Yeah. It's a family member.
Thing,
you don't just off something like that. And the best dog we ever had, unfortunately, she was 7 years old when she got cancer and she had to be put down. That was a really hard thing to do for, the whole family. All right, we gotta. Yeah, I do, Grace. I need here. I'm gonna put this up. I do need some smart dogs. They just need training. That's all it is.
She says you need some smart dogs.
Yeah, every dog can be smart. It's just a matter of training. And hello to everyone in here. We have 14 still. I think. Well, it says 13 over there. It says 14 over here. It's fluctuating between 14 and I'd say 20 at some point if I was paying attention.
Oh, it's all good, man. Hey, you see that my fix was good. Maybe we can do this again another time, and not now that I know what to do.
Yeah, maybe
we haven't gone offline ever since I did that.
Oh, wow. We've been in here for 51 minutes. Well, at least I have. You keep cutting in.
Well, like 15 of those minutes was offline trying to fix stuff.
Yeah. And there was one thing I wanted to ask you, and it pertains to Victor. So I have to ask a Victor question. Are you familiar with a YouTube channel called The Crazy Russian Hacker? Are you familiar with this?
Oh, yeah. I love that guy, man.
Yeah,
I love watching that guy. He's actually got 2 YouTube videos. He's the one that does all the reviews of Amazon stuff and MREs.
He had a review once of a machine that he got to peel boiled eggs, and he's shaking.
yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, Victor sounds just like him. So I was wondering if Victor is affiliated with his channel at all. So I had to ask the Victor.
No.
But you've got to get Victor to do his intro one day for your channel. Just, where he says, well,
Victor's just a goofy kid that happens to be my son.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of comments. I'm paying attention to the comments if anybody wants to ask a question, because we are pretty well running. We don't want to keep him here all day, do we? I mean, we got to let him go. It's what in Alaska right now? I'm at almost 7, so 4 hours.
Oh, it's only about 2:52. Yeah, it's 2:52 in the afternoon. Here. I'll tell you what, I'll stay on until I'm down to 15% battery on my phone.
Where are you at right now?
We're getting there. Probably about another 10 or 15 minutes.
Oh, well, there we go. We got a few more minutes. So if anybody has any questions in the comments, I will throw them up on the screen. Do ask them now. I'm paying attention. I'm not always paying attention to the comments, but I'm trying. So if you got a question that you would like to ask either one of us, do put it up in the comments now, because, yeah, I'm kind of paying attention. I'm trying to pay attention. Let's just put it that way. So, what really got you? What was the biggest motivating factor of, hey, I need a lot of food storage? What started?
Well, it's a wake up process. You have to wake up first.
Yeah.
You have to wake up from that normalcy bias. And to tell you the truth, Grim, there's a lot of times when I'm researching something or reading something that I'm like, I wish I would have never woken up. I wish that I was just still living in that normalcy bias that I was in, because, when you research something and you can, when you go down that rabbit hole far enough, sometimes you're like, man, I just don't want to know any of this. I don't want to know any of this anymore. Yeah, but if you have a family, it's different. If you have a family, it's different, because, I'm sure you feel the same way I do. Everything I do is for my family, whether they like it or not, because sometimes you have to make a decision that your family may not like, but you're still doing it for them.
Yep,
like building this house. building the house that I'm in right now, my wife would have preferred a brand new house, and who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? I would as well. But I didn't want to be a slave to the system for another 30 years of my life and paying a mortgage, and I didn't want to do that. So I had to make a decision. But it's first you have to wake up. And the thing that got me to wake up was, I'm not sure if you've heard this before, but I read a book called Confessions of an Economic Hitman.
Yeah.
By John Perkins.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, great book. And that book's really not about prepping. It's not about, anything bad happening. It's just a book that depicts what governments do to gain control of other countries.
Oh yeah.
And to steal the sovereignty away from other countries.
Mm-hmm.
So that book kind of woke me up to the fact that, hey, here I am fighting for Uncle Sam, but Uncle Sam ain't that good. Uncle Sam's been doing some bad things.
Oh yeah.
So it woke me up to want to look into other things. And so then I read the book, A Creature from Jekyll Island, or The Creature from Jekyll Island by G. Edward Griffith.
Never heard of that.
And that book is all about the Federal Reserve. Because if you study a little bit of history on the Federal Reserve, you'll know that the Federal Reserve was really born on a small island called Jekyll Island, which is off the coast of Georgia, and that was a secret. It was a secret place where some congressmen and some bankers got together and came up with the Federal Reserve, and then that's how it got passed into law.
Congress it was like December 20th or something back in the
24th, December 24th.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was, and nobody was there except for them, and there was enough of them to vote it into law, and that is just the biggest bunch of BS that has ever happened. So it's a private bank that controls all of our money. So
absolutely. So so then I read books like that, and it got me to thinking about how fragile our economic system is, not only in the U.S. but throughout the world, because we operate on only fiat currency, which is absolutely worthless with the exception of the paper and the ink that it's made with.
And
then that got me to looking into other things, and I figured that the best way to protect my family is not by having $1 million in the bank, but by having real things and real stuff,
usable things
that we can use in case the system goes down for whatever reason. It doesn't have to be an apocalyptic event. It could be like you said, you could lose your job. Well, now you don't have to worry about food because you have food stocked up. At least that's one less thing you can worry about, right? That you have to worry about.
Yeah.
It could be for anything. I got into studying a lot of, studying economics as far as micro, meaning like national, and macro, meaning like world economics. It's kind of like a hobby for me. So it's kind of like my hobby doing that kind of stuff. So I can see with my eyes that the system by which we live today, as far as the economy goes, there's two different economies. There's the real economy, which is the feet on the ground, the mom and pop shop, the businesses that are actually operating. And then there's the fake economy, which is the stock market.
Yeah.
And it seems that the average person doesn't understand that there's a difference between these two economies.
No.
When they see that the stock market is doing good, they don't understand that the only people that are doing good are the people that have money invested in the stock market. Well, most Americans don't. Most Americans don't have money invested in the stock market, and they don't understand that all of those zeros and ones in the stock market, they don't exist.
Nope. It's the same as the bank accounts nowadays. It's all just numbers now.
They don't exist
on a computer. It's not real money anymore. So and that's
we have a system. We have a system that is pretty much fake, that handles fake money.
Oh yeah.
And people believe that it's real. That's the only reason the system hasn't fallen.
Oh yeah.
It's because people believe it's real.
And I said,
You know,
several videos myself, but yeah, and it's the same thing with the law enforcement. I mean, if you look at it in the same manner, the only reason people don't commit a lot of crimes or go and do whatever they want is the belief that they will get in trouble. I mean, if you look at the actual numbers of how many police officers there are versus how many people there are in any individual area, the likelihood of getting away with pretty much any crime is high. It's really easy to get away with things if you have a brain, but typically people with brains don't commit crimes like that. But the ones that get, you know, that have brains and do commit crimes like that, they tend to get away with it. If you look at how many unsolved crimes there are right now. So really it's the same as the money. It's the belief that the money is worth something is why people still give you bread for you handing them this paper with ink on it. And it's the same reason why people don't go out and commit a bunch of crimes, because they believe that a police officer is going to catch them. So, but when you wake up and you have this realization that no, they're not. I mean, you can see it in traffic patterns, you know, being a professional driver, traffic patterns of how many people will slow down because they see a cop that has someone pulled over on the side of the road.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure.
I mean, why are you slowing down? He's not going to jump over his hood.
Well, it's just conditioning. That's all it is.
But we do have
conditioning.
a question. Miss Grace had asked this earlier, and I posted the last time. Let's see if I can find the original comment. It's up here somewhere. Maybe. There we go.
Miss Grace, what advice on moving to Alaska?
Yeah, there's the original comment.
Okay, it says, AP, you got to do a video on if someone moved to Alaska, what is good to bring as a prepper before moving there? Hint. I mean, in all honesty, everything that you can find in the lower 48, you can find up here in Alaska. It's just going to be more expensive. So the question is, how much is it going to cost you to move it here? Is it less expensive for you to buy it here in contrast to what it costs you to buy it in the lower 48, and then what it will cost you to move it up here? But really, there are only a few items that I cannot find up here, and that or that I cannot have shipped up here, and I have to really pay a lot for up here instead of having it shipped. And what I've always been wanting is one of those Apex Kodiak generators.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
Solar generators. I really want one of those, but I really can't get them up here. And you know, that's one of the few things. So anything that has like a lithium battery or acid battery, you can't have it really shipped up here. And the ones, the places that do sell them up here, they're pretty pricey.
Yeah.
So
from the logistics point of view, the hazmat alone, there's so many special things you have to do to transport hazardous material, and batteries like that are actually considered hazardous material if you have a certain amount of them. Now,
well, you know,
probably transfer, but not through the mail.
That makes that Kodiak. They told me that they would ship it here, but I'd have to give up all of my warranty rights. So if they shipped it up here, I would lose all warranty rights, and I have to sign a piece of paper saying that I understood that. And I'm not going to pay $1,500 for a piece of equipment if that's the case. I'm not sure if it has to do with something with their shipping.
Mailing it to you.
I don't know.
That's odd.
Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, I contacted them, and that's what they told me.
Yeah, they probably service it themselves, and they can't afford to ship a new one back and forth or do things like that. So
right,
I can think of, but
or do warranty. So I mean, as far as what to bring up here, it really depends. What are you going to do? Are you going to start a homestead? You know, are you going to live on the grid? Or are you going to live off grid? Pretty much anything that you would need in the lower 48s, you're going to need up here.
Oh yeah.
It's just, there are some things that cost a lot less up here. I mean, down there than they cost up here. Like, you wouldn't believe how much water tanks cost up here. They're probably about 3 times more expensive than what you get them for down in the lower 48, because there's only one company that makes them up here. So they take advantage of being the only company, and they pretty much set their own price.
Yeah.
Which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you don't want to buy it, you don't buy it. Or if you want to buy it, you're going to pay the price. That's plain and simple.
Economy we live in, capitalistic, but yeah, and just
I see nothing wrong in that whatsoever. My view is, hey, if I want that tank and this is how much it costs, then if I want it, I'm going to pay for it.
Oh,
If I don't, then I'm going to go on Craigslist and hope I can find one there, which is where I found my tank, was on Craigslist.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I'm sure Craigslist and what is it, Facebook Marketplace is similar to Craigslist.
It's very popular up here. Very popular up here.
Yeah, there's a couple other ones that do similar things that link you to. I mean, I guess I probably shouldn't say, but I'm going to say it anyway. Armslist.com is a good one that I have used several times. So we won't discuss what they use it for, but yeah, if you get my meaning. But yeah, there are a lot of preppers in a lot of areas that have certain things that they just don't need anymore, for maybe they moved to a different climate or things like that, and they were prepping for cold and now they live in the desert. And you can always find stuff. I found, what was it? I had a video of it. It was like 6 buckets of food somebody was selling on, I think it was Craigslist. I got it from, might have been Facebook Marketplace. And he, you know, this is like $300 or $400 worth of food I got for less than $100. So yeah, it was a good 6 months.
Yeah.
For
well, I found all those cold weather MREs off of Craigslist also.
Oh yeah. So Craigslist and
I got a whole bunch.
Are definitely things to look into. Yeah. Wow. We're really pushing our time limit here. We're over an hour already. These things always just go by so fast when you're doing these live streams, because it's just, to me, it's like I look at the clock and oh, we've been here for 5 minutes. I look at it again. Oh, we've been here for an hour. How did that happen? It just goes by so quickly.
I always say that when you're in good company, time goes by quick.
Oh yeah, that's an unfortunate reality too, because it should go by slower when you're in good company, and it usually doesn't. If you're somewhere you don't want to be with people you don't like, it always seems to drag.
Oh, it takes forever.
Yeah.
Time drags.
Yep, definitely. Any more questions anybody has real quick before his battery dies on his phone? Because I'm sure we're getting pretty low now.
Oh, I mean, we got a few minutes. If anyone's got any questions, I'm happy to. I'll tell you what, let's keep it on for about another 10 minutes, and then we'll call it good, because I actually have a live stream tomorrow.
Okay. Oh,
but I do have some things I still have to do.
Never know.
I was trying to go and put some fuel in my tank outside before it got dark.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's 3 o'clock and it's almost dark already.
Oh yeah, it's dark here already at 7 o'clock, but I'm sure you get.
Oh, okay.
Dark, right? What time did it get light?
I think it starts getting light at about, let me see. I'm trying to remember what time I left the house today. Probably around 10 o'clock.
Yeah. So
in the morning,
you got a little bit of light.
Well, we right now we don't see the sun anymore. It's like dawn, you know, like right before the sun rises.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what it looks like all day. Or while we have light, which is for about 3.5, 4. Let me see. I would say about 4.5 hours a day. We can see outside without it being dark.
Yeah, I bet you have a lot of different flashlights and things to see and lighting. I mean, if your power goes out.
I probably have about 30 flashlights in the house that we can get to at any time. I like flashlights.
Awesome. Right here. This is awesome. I did a review of it the other day.
You probably couldn't, you can't walk 10 feet in my house without running into another flashlight.
Oh yeah. I have one sitting here on my desk somewhere. Oh, it's over there. Oh, no, I'm wrong. It's in my pocket. I always have a flashlight somewhere. If it's not the one on my head, I always have. I mean, I can't go anywhere without them. I always have to have. I have an extra one I keep in here that I have in my pocket usually. So on a typical day in the wintertime, my EDC consists of this light, the light that's in here, which is an O light, and the hat light. So yeah. And they have beanies too with these little light things on them, a little beanie hat.
Oh yeah. I saw that show you had on. Yeah. I saw your video where you were showing the different lights and the different cats.
This thing, I've used it so much. I'm getting the batteries are starting to get low this one because it's not as bright as it used to be. But you know, batteries are about I'd say about $7. I can get the replacement batteries for it, so it's really not that bad. And it is the special batteries though. So if we're using it for like prepping or long term, I wouldn't recommend it. But just for everyday use, yeah, I use this thing. Well, I was using it every day for my job. I have to do a pre-trip inspection on a truck every morning, and it was always dark, and I have to check the oil, I have to check the tires and things like that. So this light really came in handy. So yeah, it's a good thing to have. They sell it on Amazon.
Yeah, I just ordered like another 5 flashlights off of Amazon.
Yeah. Do you have a particular brand you like?
I actually, you know what? I love the O-Light, but the small ones.
Yeah. So
I ordered a small O-Light that's like 180 lumen.
Yeah.
So and my favorite flashlight is the Gold Zero 250 because it's so nice. you know, the one that you crank.
Oh,
The Gold
yeah.
0250 that you crank. It's not a very powerful flashlight.
No,
it's
but
only 250 lumen, but it's so versatile,
yeah.
and you don't really need to have batteries for it. You can crank it, you can use solar, and you can also plug it into the wall. I just like that flashlight a lot. So I got a few of those.
This is the only Olight I own. It's the M1T Raider, and it was one of those flash sales. I think it's like a 600 lumen, and it's got the tail switch, and you know, it's not rechargeable or anything, and I forget which battery it came with. Now this is
right. No, I mean, batteries are good too. I don't mind batteries. Oh, is that a C123?
Yeah, CR123. That's what this little one is. So this is the only Olight I have ever owned. I've always had through night lights before I bought this Olight, and yeah, through night's what this is. This is a TC15, and the reason I always bought these is because these always had the chargers for the regular USB. I don't know if you can see that, but the USB
mini USB.
Yeah, I think it was the minis or micro. I don't remember which one, but I always had so many of those wires because I use them to charge. I was using them to charge my phones, and I was using it to charge my Bluetooth headset because it all takes that same kind of plug. So that's why I ended up buying this flashlight over the Olight, because the Olight had a special charger, the magnetic base charger. And yeah, I had so many of these wires, so it was just more feasible for me to get something that, you know, I could charge rather easily from anywhere I'm at, really. Yeah, you can literally plug this in. You've seen the little backup batteries they sell for cell phones, the little battery packs. You can plug this in and charge it on those. I have a solar panel that I can plug this into and charge it, and yeah, it's just the best thing ever to have. So, yeah, that's why I went.
Yeah, I've got all sorts of flashlights, man. Flashlights is one of those things that I just like. If I see one that looks like it's a good deal, I'm like, yeah,
I'll take that.
You know, what's wrong with having a 51st flashlight?
Yeah, nothing at all, because you're going to need it eventually. I mean, you will use it at least once, right?
You know, I told my wife, I said, I can buy flashlights, or I can spend my money at a bar. Which one's easier? You know, which one's better?
Yep,
I'll just collect my
flashlight. So. Yeah, I tend to have more knives than I have flashlights. I have so many of them.
Oh, I like knives. Yeah, I like knives too.
Everywhere. So yeah, I mean, right here where I'm sitting, and this is, you know, something I never actually said on YouTube, I don't think, but this is, I'm not actually in my house when I'm sitting at my computer. My computer's not in my house. It won't fit. So just that being said, the knives I have sitting on this desk that are not in my house is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 on my desk, and yeah, I'm not even in my house. So yeah, and that's a long story of why my computer is in a different place. But I'm actually in my brother's house right now where I keep it, because it, like I said, it won't fit in my house. So I have to come over here to use my computer, and it's an ordeal, which is why I don't post a lot of videos and I don't do a lot of live streams. So yeah, yeah, it's an interesting thing. But yeah, we're gonna have to send you one of these, just one of these, just to get you on video to see if you are any better with it. Because when I was doing this, I was on video for like an hour, and I'm trying to get sparks on this thing. And
Were you really? Do you have any fat rope?
No, I don't actually have fat rope. I've been looking at fat rope, but what I have is a wet fire, and I actually have some sitting on my floor because I was using it for something or another in a video. But these wet fire,
that should be good too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they work really well. And one of them fell out of the box, so it's just yeah, I'm going to do a review of these things because I've never used them before.
Yeah, you fluff them up.
Yeah, it'll burn. This little thing will burn for over 5 minutes. So yeah. It's awesome.
Was it you that was showing that? I think I seen you burn some of those before. Did you do a video where you burned some of those?
I was burning cotton balls when I was using this and my ferro rod, and I was actually burning was it petroleum jellied cotton balls, because that's what I have.
Well, I mean, that works too.
Yeah, they work really well, but that's what I have in my kit, and if I can pull them out, as this just the vacuum sealed from the sealing meal pack. And all that is a single cotton ball that's been soaked in a petroleum jelly or Vaseline. And I had my wife do it. She put it in the sealing meal, and she made me about, I don't know, a dozen of these little things, and I keep them in my kit because you see how thin it is. And where did I put that? Now I'm dropping stuff. If you see this is the little wet fire tablet, and you know it's got air in that bag, and that's how thick it is compared to this. It's just Yeah, these things are so easier to store. Now, with it being vacuum sealed like this, you never got to worry about it leaking out or the drying out or anything like that. And you can actually take a Bic lighter and just light the corner of this in a dire emergency. And between the plastic and the petroleum jelly in there, it'll burn for at least 5 minutes, but probably longer. So,
nice.
Yeah, that's a very interesting thing to have. Also, I keep the little 4-hour candles, the little stick candles. You can buy them in bulk. I think they use them for.
I usually keep a tea light candle in my truck.
Yeah,
as well with my kid.
I keep the longer sticks, and I keep it in a little Altoids tin because I can use the tin. I don't have anything else in that tin, so I would use it for char cloth and things like that. If I, it was in that kind of a dire situation where I plan on being there a while, which I have no intention on ever being in that type of a situation, obviously. But if I am, I have the ability. But yeah, different fire starting methods. I mean, ferro rods, Bic lighters. I actually keep a Zippo in my bug out bag or my get home bag. Well, it's basically my kit. It's both, but a Zippo lighter, and I keep a little tiny can. It's like a little, I guess, a 1 ounce can, if that, of Zippo lighter fluid and some extra flints in there. So that Zippo itself would last me probably several months. And then the flint on it's still reusable for lighting things like this, because you can create a good spark with that.
Right.
So actually be easier than a ferro rod because it has the striker built into it. So yeah. So that's just one thing to have. And I don't have any like the torches you said. I do like those things, but I just don't currently have one just because, I don't like keeping
it's just the reason I like the torch so much is the ease of use. When it gets really cold, you lose a lot of dexterity in your fingers. With that torch, all you have to do is push down, and that's it. And so that's why I like it a lot, and it works pretty good.
Start a fire. I mean, I've seen those torches start fires just on wood. You just hold it to the wood; it'll start that fire.
Yeah, it starts.
If I can get
Well, my man, I think it's about time for me to get on going. I actually have to go get my wife. I just remembered. I dropped her off at work today with her truck because her truck needed gas. So I'm like, let me drop you off at work. So now I got to go pick her up.
Don't forget to pick up your wife. That would be very bad. And then she'd probably blame it on me.
No, if I forgot to pick her up, I might not be able to do my live stream tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true. And we wouldn't see you there. So we're going to go ahead and have to end this. So if you guys, just say goodbye. If anybody wants to say bye real quick. For some reason, I'm seeing more of the comments on the actual stream than I am on this. This program's weird.
Oh, really?
I'm going to.
If somebody's got a last question, I can go ahead and answer real quick.
If anybody's got one last question, you got just about a minute. We're probably on about a 20-second delay. So
if they don't catch, if anyone's got a question and I don't catch it today, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Alaska time, I'm doing a live stream. Oh, but the catch is this: we're talking about anything and everything but prepping.
Yeah.
So tomorrow it's going to be like it's going to be a fun live stream where we don't talk about prepping. Anyone can ask me any questions they want as long as they keep it classy. And we're going to try to have a little bit of fun instead of keeping it on the serious side of prepping.
I got to think up a good question for you now. I'm going to spend the rest of the evening.
As soon as I said you got to keep it classy, you started thinking, can I ask my question?
Oh man, that just ruined about 5 of the things I was thinking already. That's the one thing I always, the biggest problem I've always had with making these videos is censoring myself, because some of the things I say when I have to edit it out of a video, we won't even discuss that. So, but anyway, I don't think I'm seeing any more questions, so we could go ahead and end this now. Hey,
all right, man.
Really appreciate you showing up. It's been a very good
chat.
Thank
you for asking, man. Hey, like I said, I've always had fun doing live streams, and it was no different today. I had a lot of fun, even though in the beginning there we had a lot of in and out with the connection, but I think I got it figured out for next time. So if you ever have me back, I'll know that I got it figured out, and I'll know what to do next time. So thanks a lot for having me, man, and keep doing what you're doing on your channel, man. I'm not blowing any smoke, when I say this, but every time you put up a new video, I go watch it. I've got probably about 100 people that I'm subscribed to. Yeah. And there's about a dozen or so that every time they put up a new video, I go watch it. Well, because I just, I enjoy your content, but I enjoy more that you talk with your audience instead of talking at your audience. To me, that's important because it puts a personal touch to it. Yeah. You put your personality into your videos, and to me, that matters, because it means that you're being true to yourself and you're not trying to change, you know, at someone else's will, which to me, that's a big deal. You know, just don't change who you are. Keep doing what you're doing.
I don't know how to, I was never good at acting. I failed drama.
That's good.
I just can only be me. It's the only thing I know how to do. So I guess if it works, it works.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like I'm an old wise. I'm an old man, but not like I'm an old wise man. But if I had to give you any piece of, if I had to give you any piece of advice, is just, you know, be who you are. Don't change who you are. Don't try to change the game around you. Just be who you are and keep doing what you're doing. And you know what? Eventually, you're gonna have people following you because they enjoy who you are instead of enjoying something that's not real. Yeah. So that's what I have to say about that. And having said that, can I sign out?
Oh yeah, and congratulations on your 20,000 subscribers, and I hope to have you back.
We'll try
it again, you know, one day soon. And hey, this has been Grim Survival with Alaska Prepper. We thank everybody for watching and showing up, but that's it for us. So, guys, have a good one.
All right, hey, thank you very much for having me, brother. I really do appreciate it, and I really enjoyed the time that we spent here. All right, hopefully you'll have me back someday, and maybe one day if I can do this, I can have you on. But right now, I'm not sure how that would work on my side.
Well,
but hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for having me on. What's that?
So if you have any questions on how to do it, I can help you. I'm really good with computers. So any computer questions you have.
I know. You know what? I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying to keep it as technically friendly to myself as I can.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to keep doing my videos with the same camera I started with.
Yeah.
You know, I actually had somebody comment, you know, I know I was going to sign out, but I'll tell this story. I actually had somebody comment on one of my videos a few weeks back. He says something like, this is the 21st century, and you're still uploading videos with 480 or something, whatever that means.
480p.
I didn't even know what he was talking about. I had to look it up. I'm like, oh, I guess I am uploading videos 480p, whatever. 40, you know, and I'm like, well, you know, if you don't want to watch my videos because it's not to your standard, then by all means, you know, you can watch someone else's videos.
A lot of your videos, you can listen to them, because when I was driving, I was listening to most. I didn't even hardly watch any of your videos. I just listened to them all the time because, you know, staring at my phone while doing 70 miles an hour with 65,000 pounds behind me is not a good idea. But
hey, that's a good idea. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again. Hey, thank you, Grim.
Yapping.
Hey, thank you for having me, man. I do appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate you coming. I'm going to go ahead and click the end. Bye, everybody.
All right, take care, everyone.
All right, I have ended it.